Colon cancer is the second leading cause of cancer death in the country, but it's also probably the most preventable cancer. But people don't want to talk about their butt, and they don't want to talk about poop. And we think it's unacceptable not to talk about it because it's so preventable.
After I found out I had it, I don't have a problem talking about it at all. Just like you sit up and talk about sports, you can sit up and talk about colon cancer.
If you make people comfortable and make it something that they can laugh about, then it's not so scary.
We're talking about their butt and we're talking about poop. That's gonna happen.
Colon cancer prevention has become funny. Colonoscopies, having to take the prep, blah, blah, blah. But there's nothing funny about colon cancer.
Being embarrassed is not worth dying over. Having an uncomfortable conversation is not worth dying over. And then there he is at my wedding. I think that's maybe one of my favorite pictures ever taken of him. So my father was diagnosed with colon cancer at the age of 54 in 2012. He always said that information and knowledge was your best defense and your best weapon. And that, after he passed away, was really what inspired me to get screened when I did. I'm Katie Felkington, and I am a colon cancer previvor.
Previvors are people who got screened on time and they found precancerous polyps, which they were able to remove during the procedure, and they never had to deal with colon cancer.
I got screened not even a full 2 months after my dad died. I went early, and it was a very good thing I did, because they found 2 polyps that were precancerous. And if I had waited, my gastroenterologist tells me it likely would have been advanced colon cancer. I think it would have made him very happy to know that his experience led me to get screened. We have the tools that we need to avoid it, to prevent it, to never have to fight the battle that my dad fought.
We shouldn't have to get colon cancer to become aware of it. I know from my own experience as a colon cancer survivor, I didn't know the symptoms. And so looking back, I had them, but I didn't know what they were, and so I missed them for a while. No one had any conversation with me about what my family history was, what the symptoms were. That's a little frustrating for me because I just lacked information. But people shouldn't have to live my story.
Do you know your family history? Do you know your risks? Because you should.
Lack of energy, abdominal cramping, blood in your stool, unexplained weight loss.
This notion that 50, although it's been tagged as the time when you should start your screening, it's certainly not appropriate for that to be the time you first hear about colon cancer.
Yeah, the lines is where the surgery was. Hadn't been. 10, 11 years. I never been to the doctor. I always made sure the kids went to the doctor, but I never went. The last time I actually physically went to the doctor, I might have been 24. The day that I finally went, I was 48. They did a colonoscopy. For me, I was in stage 4. And that's how I found out I had cancer.
You need to know the facts that will lead you to the proper time to get screened.
The age is not a hard and fast rule. 50 is a great jumping off point if you're of average risk.
You need to have a conversation with your family members and see if polyps were removed in anyone on either side of your family. If you had a family member diagnosed, you would subtract 10 years from their diagnosis, and that would be when you would need to get screened. We know that lives will be saved when people take ownership of their own health.
Everybody should have a general doctor, and you need to go every year. That's what I've learned from all of this.
Colon cancer is hands down one of the most preventable cancers out there. I mean, hands down.
We get angry every day that we hear that someone died of colon cancer because it is preventable. And that's why we're called the Colon Cancer Prevention Project. We're gonna conquer this. We're gonna stop people from dying from colon cancer.